record. All right. Now again, sorry guys, we got a little start late. It's nothing. What am I supposed to do? There's nothing I can do, right? Whatever you need to do to take care of business. That's the rule in 8th grade. I want you to take care of business. No, no. All right. Here we go. Number 12. That's where we left off at, correct? All right, so here we go. Find 3 consecutive integers whose sum is 105. Now, please listen. I know some of you can just divide by 3 and figure out what the answer is, but that's not what we want. Remember, we're working on setting up equations. So here we go. Consecutive odd numbers. Here's what I want you to think of. Our consecutive integers would be numbers like 7, 8, 9. Those would be consecutive, one right after the other. So how do we represent that? So I want everybody to write this down. First, second, third. What? Oh, I'm sorry. I'll get out of the way. All right, first, second, third. All right, because there are 3 numbers. Now, the first number we're going to call is what? X. Now the question is, how do I get from 7 to 8? What am I doing? Adding 1. That is correct. So the second number would be x plus 1. And the third number then would be what?
X plus 2.
Thank you, x plus 2. That's not that hard. Now again, remember what I told you. We are doing some easy problems, so as we go down, they will get harder. And if you don't learn to set it up like this, you're not going to be able to get the hard ones. I understand what the answer is and how simple it is to find the answer. That's not the problem that's going to be on the test, the easy one. All right, so I need you to make sure you understand we're talking about 3 consecutive. So x, x plus 1, x plus 2. Those are how you physically represent 3 consecutive integers. Now, what does it say to do with those integers? We are going to what?
Add them.
Add them up. Thank you. Now, because we're going to add them up, I want to show you something. Instead of rewriting it, we can just put a line right underneath this. Now I'm going to add them. So when I add them, what do I end up with?
X plus 3.
No, no, no. Come on, Tucker. Not x plus 3, but
3x.
what? How many x's are there?
3x.
3x. Thank you. So we're going to get 3x plus 3 is equal to 105. Everybody okay with that? I told you it's not that hard. So then we have 3x is equal to 102. Now, for those of you guys who are struggling with 102 divided by 3, that's what you have a calculator for. All right, hopefully that's not that big of a deal. 102 divided by 3 is obviously 34, right? So 34 is the first number. The next number is going to be 35, and the next number is going to be, there you have it, 34, 35, 36. All right? Anybody have any issues? All right, let's see if we can make it a little bit harder now. Find 3 consecutive odd integers. So now, an example of 3 consecutive odd integers would be something like 11, 13, and 15. All right, so now it's the same principle. But look right here, guys. If we're good, watch. Right? You can rewrite them if you want, or you can just come down here and say, well, I'm just going to copy this and paste it down here. And those are our first 3 numbers again. So what is our first number? Do we have any idea what our first number is?
Wouldn't that be odd? Oh, it's X.
What is my first number? X. All right, now the hard part.
X plus 2.
X plus 2, thank you. It seems like it should be like x plus 1. Some kids make a mistake because they're thinking odds. To get from 11 to 13, we add 2. And then we'd add another 2. So there you go. 3 consecutive odd numbers are written as x, x plus 2, and x plus 4. All right? Now, let's see what we're doing. It says we want a sum, which means we're going to do what? Add them again. This time when we add, we get what? 3x plus what?
Plus 6.
3x plus 6 equals 105. Are we okay with that? And now, what do we do to both sides?
Minus 6.
Minus 6. 3x equals what? 99. So x had to be what?
33.
33. Now notice I didn't put minus 6 and minus 6 anymore. And I didn't put divided by 3 and divided by 3. All right, because at this stage you should be able to see that better now. So what is the first number?
33.
The first number is indeed 33. What will be the next number?
35.
And the next number?
37.
And guess what happens if I add those up?
105.
You get 105. And if you want to on your calculator real quick, just do 33 plus 35 plus 37. And you can see 105. All right, now again, I know some of you can figure that out without doing any of the algebra whatsoever. On the test, that's not going to work though. You got to show your work on the test. All right, because setting up the equation is the most important part. Okay, here we go. Uh-oh. Find 4 consecutive evens. So this time, instead of first, second, third, I'm going to need a first, second, third, and what? 4th. Now, consecutive evens. Miss Bailey, what's the first number going to be? X. What's the second number going to be? X plus what?
1.
Do we want evens?
Yeah.
So if we did 4 even numbers, we'd say like 2, 4, 6, 8, right? How do I get from 2 to 4?
Yeah.
See what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
All right, x plus 2. Then the next one will be what, Miss Bailey?
X plus 4.
And then the next one will be,
X plus 6.
come on guys, that's not that hard. All right, and again, please, don't say I can take shortcuts, I know what I'm doing, I don't need to do all that. You're making a mistake when you do that. All right, you're learning to set things up. You're learning to set things up. Please do not take a shortcut. All right? Now, what are we doing to these numbers? We're adding them together. And when I add them together, what do I get? Someone?
4x
Thank you.
plus
12.
12.
Thank you. Equals
244.
244. Now let me show you something. What helped me a lot here, real quick. What's the matter?
I was gonna ask for.
You divide by 4.
Oh wait, never mind. I get it.
Right. Now listen to me, Connor. Again, I know you're working hard. So listen to me. Before you raise your hand, be patient with yourself. Give yourself a chance to look over and see if you can figure it out before you raise your hand so quickly. All right, that goes for everybody. And then after you think about it, then ask me a question. All right, now, Austin said something nice. All right, I can subtract 12 and divide by 4, and that'd be my answer. But look, to me, I always try to reduce things. Look up, please. I want everybody to know, to me, dividing by 4 is so simple here. Please look. Stop looking at your calculator. Look up here on the board. I want to show you something that helps you do numbers more quickly. I'm going to, in my mind, divide everything through by 4. So that's x plus 3 equals 61. You should be able to look at 244 and divide that by 4 in your head. Does everybody agree with me? Does everybody see what I did? I did it out of order. Usually we say eliminate the addition and then divide. But in reality, if you divide by every term, it's still going to be the same answer. What?
So if you want to get rid of the x, you have to divide it.
Yes. You can't just divide this by 4 and that by 4. You have to divide all 3 terms by 4. All right? That's important.
Is that with every case like that?
Every time. All right? So now the answer is just x equals what?
58.
58. Now we go back. What are the numbers? Here we go. Nice. Tell me again. Thank you. 58, 60, 62, and 64. Now, do me a favor. Just add those up real quick. Take your calculator. Add them up real quick and make sure they add up to 244. All right, add them up and make sure they add up to 244. Right, and again, I'm looking around the room. I say add them up, and somebody just sit there.
Yeah, it's,
Like, why would I do that? I know he's always right. I know that's what you were thinking because you didn't want to do it on your own. That's the problem some of you are having. You need to do the work. Right? You got to participate in class 100% of the time if you want to change your direction. All right? And some of you guys are making A's. I don't, you know, you're doing fantastic. I have no complaints. I'm watching you guys who want to do better are not doing better. And this is a direct result. When I'm asking you to do something, you sit and stare. So don't do that. If I say add them up, add them up. All right, here we go. Next. Bert's Burger Barn sold 495 hamburgers today. All right, now this is a little misleading. So I want everybody to, because this is the problem I think that's the biggest mistake for kids. And again, I need to move this out of the way a little bit. So my homeschool peeps are, all right, there we go. All right, that's better. So it says Bert's Burger Barn sold 495 hamburgers. To me, I don't like the way that's written. I think it should say Bert's Burger Barn sold 495 hamburgers and cheeseburgers. Do I agree with that? But again, they go on to explain one's with cheese, one's without cheese, correct? So they're calling a cheeseburger a what?
Hamburger.
They're calling it a hamburger with cheese. All right? So don't be confused by that. So here we go. Again, we're going to identify they sold how many? 495. They sold with cheese and without cheese. All right, so here's what you have. You have down here cheese. And then you can just do plain if you want. Or write no cheese if you want. Doesn't matter to me. Now, it says what? It says the number sold with cheese was half without cheese. So how many did they serve plain? How many did they serve plain, Austin? No. How many did they serve plain? No. How many did they serve plain? How many did they serve plain? X. Thank you. We don't know. All right, we don't know. The answer is X. All right. The amount of hamburgers that were sold is X. So everybody puts an X down to plain. Now, cheese, how many were sold with cheese then? Say it again. 1/2 X. That's exactly right. Now, I want everybody to do this on their paper. I want everybody to put 1/2 X. And then I want you to put in parentheses X over 2. Why do I want that in parentheses? Because is there any difference with that? Is there any difference between those two? 1/2 X and X over 2. No difference. They mean the same. Yes, sir.
It wouldn't matter if you switch them, right?
What do you mean?
Like if you put X for cheese, half X.
Well, yeah, that would make a big difference, but I like what you're thinking, so stop and think, right? Let's say Trimble is brilliant sometimes. Notice I said sometimes, all right? He says, well, I don't like fractions. I'm going to make cheese X. If cheese is X, somebody tell me about the plain. What is it going to be? No. Plain would hold up. Miss Bailey, tell us. 2X. You are brilliant. Now, again, personally, I think that's the way this should be done. Right? I don't like dealing with the fractions. So if you do fractions, this is okay. I think what? This is better because I don't have to deal with the fractions. All right? Now, you need to understand this. If plain is X and cheese is 1/2 X, is that still the same with X and 2X over here? Yes. The cheeseburgers are still half the number of what? Hamburgers. Come on now, I'm trying to make you smarter, and that's about being smarter right there. That was a great observation. I appreciate that. All right, much easier to do it that way. Now, how many were sold altogether? So Trumbull, what equation am I going to write?
2x.
What are you doing? Sean, help him out. I don't know why he's stumbling on that.
495.
No, you're not doing it differently. You're doing it like I'm doing it, or you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, but
So I
the equation's
want,
the same.
what is the equation? What is the equation? Tell me. Come on, what's the
X
equation?
plus 2x equals 495.
Thank you. X plus 2x equals 495. You could also say 1/2 x plus x is 495. All right, thank you, Tucker. All right, being patient and listening is important. Everybody's good. X plus 2x equals 495. Now, hopefully you like my observation here about this part makes it a little bit easier. We don't have fractions. Everybody agree with that?
Sure.
So if we solve now, what do we have? 3x equals 495. And so, of course, everybody's going to pull out their calculator, or we can just say 165. Right now, I haven't answered the question yet. I just know x is 165. All right. Now, what are they asking? How many of what? Each kind were sold. So how many cheeseburgers were sold? 165 cheeseburgers. And how many plain? How many plain? 330. Now guess what happens if I add the 330 plus the 165? I just double checked myself, 495. That is 100% correct. Now, I know some of you are doing better. Sean, I appreciate you very much. Your math skills, your mental math are amazing.
Yeah.
Listen though, what I'm telling you, I want you to understand I can make this really difficult, where you can't work backwards. I'm doing easy numbers on the board for a reason, because I care about how you set things up. On the test, you're not going to be able to look at it and say, okay, that's the answer, because I can do the math in my head. You have to learn how to set things up. All right? You have to learn how to set things up. Don't be frustrated.
I just said a based on the problem.
Okay, well, that's the way it should look. Something like that. All right? Let's go to the next problem. Here we go. 16. A company added a new oil tank that holds 350 barrels of oil more than its old oil tank. Together they hold 3,650 barrels of oil. How much does each tank hold? So how many different types of tanks do we have? 2. So here's what you should be writing down. One of them is what? Old, and one of them is, that's what I'm having you write down for a reason. Now, if you put tank 1 and tank 2, that's perfectly fine too. However you want to label it so you're keeping track of things. Learning to take information, put it on paper, and then decipher the information is what we're going for. Now, it says, a company added a new oil tank that holds 350 barrels more than the old. So how much does the old hold?
X.
X. How much does the new hold?
X plus 350.
X plus 350. That is not a difficult task. Connor, so now what's the equation?
The equation is
What does together mean?
you add them.
Add them.
So you just
Add them. What happens when I add them? What do I get?
you get 2x plus 350
Equals?
equals 3,650.
Very good. Finally, that's what I'm talking about. Stop and think. All right, finally. heading in the right direction. All right, everybody can head in the right direction. But if you don't say something, I can't help you. Good? Anybody else have any questions? My homeschool peeps, you guys okay?
Yep.
Don't be afraid to speak up now because I'm further along. All right, now let's solve this. Everybody subtract 350. What do I get?
2x equals 3,300.
So x equals,
Actually,
1,650.
all right, so now it says, how much does each tank hold? So the old holds what?
1,650.
1,650 what?
Barrels.
Barrels. And then
2,000.
the new holds 2,000. Come on, hopefully you're feeling better about it. Hopefully you're feeling better. Let's knock out 17. All right, I'm listening. What? What? I plugged in 4x 1650. 1650 plus 350. Do that on your calculator. Yes. Yes, I'll let you read the next one. All right, here we go. Go.
Yeah, so Emily has $88 in her savings account, and she saves $350 per week. How long will it take her to have $200 in her account?
Okay, so now again, this is, oh, sorry guys, if you can't read it, we'll pull it down. All right, so go ahead, tell me what the equation is.
88 plus $3.50 x equals 200.
Wow, thank you. Stop right there so I can get everybody on board. Exactly. Everybody else should be able to do that. She has how much money in her account right now? $88. She's going to put in her account what? $350 per week. She's trying to save up $200. That's what you're doing. All right? Very good. Thank you. All right. Now, subtracting 88, what do I get?
112.
Right? Now, that's what you have a calculator for. So x is equal to
32.
how much?
32.
That's what I got. 32 what?
Dollars.
Weeks.
Yeah, be careful. All right, be careful. It's going to take her 32 weeks.
That's a lot of weeks.
Yeah,
It's almost a year,
actually. Here we go. Let's look at 18.
10 weeks away.
Now, again, I want everybody to draw a rectangle with their iPad. All right? And then it says the perimeter is 332. So P equals 332. And the width is equal to 76. So I have a width and I have a what? A length. I know the width is what? 76. So who can tell me what the perimeter formula is for a rectangle? Who remembers? Perimeter of a rectangle. All the sides added up. Somebody else. What is it?
W2 plus L2.
Yeah, but we traditionally just say 2L. Right, so I'm pretty happy with that. So everybody write down perimeter. There are two lengths and there are two widths. That's what the perimeter of a rectangle is. 2L plus 2W. Now it tells you that the perimeter is 332. So now we're just substituting in the numbers. 332 is equal to 2L plus 2 times 76. So now I need someone to tell me what's 2 times 76. Hello?
152.
Come on. 152, right? Now what do I have to do to both sides?
2/2.
Oh, actually, we could divide by 2. I kind of like that. So let's practice dividing by 2. 1, 6, 6 equals L plus 76. And now what can I do? Subtract 76. So the length is how much? Wow, guys, come on, with a calculator. I shouldn't be able to do this.
90.
Is that correct? 90?
That's what I got.
All right. So 90 what? Thank you. 90 centimeters. All right, 90 centimeters. Good. All right, sorry, I just wanted to see how many we had left. All right, now we have to draw an isosceles triangle. Who can tell me what an isosceles triangle is? Do you remember? Yes, 2 sides are the same. So what I want to do now is we're going to draw an isosceles triangle. All right, your iPad is good at that. There we go. There's my isosceles triangle. And then what I want you to do is go ahead and mark the congruent sides. Normally we do tick marks. All right, that means they're congruent. That's a bad color. You can get a different color. This is congruent to that. Is everybody with me on that?
Yeah.
Now, it says the perimeter is 345. So I'm going to put P equals 345. Ooh. All right, I don't think you guys, you might not remember this, but this is called the base. And these two, I don't know why they did this, but those are called the legs. All right, so the 2 legs are what's equal. All right, the base is the non-equal side. So it says the base is 85. Do you have any idea what the leg is?
Wouldn't that be X?
That would be X, that is correct. Okay, so I need someone to tell me what the perimeter is algebraically. What's the perimeter? No, that's area. You're thinking area. All right, tell me.
345 equals 2x plus 85.
Yeah, so the equation here is, and I like that, 2x plus 85 equals 345. All right, and then you said it doesn't matter, right? So now, what do I need to do to both sides?
Subtract by 85.
Subtract 85. Someone tell me what that is. What? And so x is equal to what?
130
130 what?
centimeters.
Yes. The legs are the same. So the legs are 130 centimeters. All right, now a little bit harder. A little bit harder. What? Okay, thank you. So number 20, we're going to draw another rectangle, please. There we go. Drawing a rectangle. Now, here we have a length and a width. Now, it says that the width is 15 inches less than the length. So what is the length? Who can tell me what the
Equals
length
x
is?
minus 15.
What is the length? Say it. Do we know what the length is?
X.
X. We don't know what the length is. So everybody write X for the length. And then the width would be what?
X plus or minus.
Thank you. X minus 15. Come on, we can do this. We can do this.
So 2x minus 15.
No. So what's on the other side?
X times.
X. And what's on the other side over here?
X minus 15.
X minus 15.
What do you do? Like get distribute?
So perimeter is to do what? What do we do with the perimeter? add them all up. So I think it's easier just to say, okay, I'm adding the x's. How many x's do we see?
4.
4x.
4x
Now the numbers, what do the numbers total?
minus
30.
Negative what?
30.
30, and that equals how much?
98.
98, thank you very much. Now what can I do to both sides?
Add by 30.
Add 30. 4x equals what?
128.
128. Now what?
Divide by 4.
So x equals
32.
32. Now, what is 32?
X.
That's the
Which is the
Length.
length. 32 what?
centimeter or inches.
Inches. And the width then would be
17
17 what?
inches.
There you have it. All right, I'm pretty happy with that today, guys, even after my late start. All right, so I want everybody on their own now to try 21 through 24. No, 21 through 26. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, of course, there's some of you guys, just give me a second. Some of you guys can do the mental math. If you can't get an answer, I don't care if you do the mental math. But part of the reason why you're not able to get it algebraically is because you're not writing down the steps like I'm asking you. All right? So tonight, everybody's going to try these 6 problems. All right? Everybody's going to try those 6 problems. And when we come to class tomorrow, I'm going to go over those 6. And I'm going to kind of walk around the room to see if you've got a clue or not. All right? Please, 6 problems. Give it your best shot. All right? Now, Connor, what?
Use the word 17 came from another.
Connor, how did I get to 17? Aren't we looking for the width? What is the width? What's the width? What does it say the width is?
Minus 15.
Exactly.
Oh, so it would be right here.
No, type it on your calculator. Do it right now. All right? Now, again, homeschool peeps, sorry I just lectured for the most part today, but again, I think it's super, super important that you're writing things down. Please do those 6 problems on your own, and you guys have a great rest of the day. All right, take care, guys.
Thank you.
I'm going to post again. Here we go. Stop sharing, end.